So, what if I told you that right now your brain is literally incapable of telling the difference between the life you're living and the life you are vividly imagining? Today, we're going to move way beyond just wishful thinking and get into the hard science of how you can actually become the architect of your own reality. Let's dive in and start rewiring your blueprint. Now, this isn't just some motivational quote you'd see online. It's a statement of biological fact. You see, at the neural level, a powerfully imagined experience is processed in the exact same way as a real-world event. Your neurons, they don't know the difference. All they know is the signal they're getting. And this one simple fact has absolutely staggering implications, as some researchers at Harvard were about to find out. Okay, get this. In a landmark study, they took two groups of people. The first group physically practiced a simple piano sequence for 5 days straight. The second group, they never even touched the piano. They just imagined practicing it in their minds. And the results were, well, they were astounding. Brain scans showed that the motor cortex, that's the part of the brain that controls physical movement, it grew and rewired itself identically in both groups. Think about that. Thought alone was literally sculpting their physical brain. So how in the world is that possible, right? How can a simple thought physically change the hardware of our brain? Well, it all comes down to this one fundamental law of neurobiology that pretty much governs how every single circuit in your brain is built and maintained. It's called Hebb's law, and it's actually beautiful in its simplicity. Neurons that fire together, wire together. That's it. Every time you have a thought, every time you feel an emotion, a specific network of neurons lights up. And the more you repeat that thought or feeling, the stronger the connection between those neurons becomes. It's kind of like forging a path in a forest. The more you walk it, the clearer it gets. This is exactly how habits, beliefs, and our personalities are built, neuron by neuron. But here's the other side of that coin, and this is crucial. What happens to the old ways of thinking? The circuits for self-doubt or anxiety or whatever it is you want to change. Well, when you stop firing them, when you consciously choose a new thought instead, those old neural pathways start to get weak. It's a process called synaptic pruning. Your brain is incredibly efficient, so it literally starts to dismantle the connections that you're not using anymore. And this is the beautiful result. As those old circuits for the past start to fade away, every single time you mentally rehearse your desired future, one that's filled with confidence or abundance or joy, you are strengthening a brand new circuit. You're laying down new tracks, paving a new neurological highway, and making those positive states your brain's new normal, its new default setting. You are literally architecting a new biological personality. Okay, so we've established we can change our brain's internal wiring. That's amazing. But how does this mental blueprint actually translate into real, measurable, honest-to-goodness results in the outside world? How do we build that bridge from our mind to our matter? Well, let's look at some more data. This study by Dr. Alan Richardson on basketball players is just stunning. He split them into 3 groups. The first group, the control, did no practice. No surprise, they saw 0 improvement. The second group physically practiced their free throws every day and got 24% better. Makes sense. But look at that middle bar. The third group only visualized making perfect shots. They never touched a basketball, and they improved by 23%. Just let that sink in for a minute. 23% improvement from thought alone. This wasn't just aimless daydreaming. This was precise internal training. They were building and strengthening the neural blueprint for success. They were priming their minds and their bodies for a reality before it even happened. This proves that the internal signal we generate can be so coherent, so powerful, it can produce results nearly identical to physical action. Now, this all leads to a really important question. How does the brain decide to accept an imagined event as a real instruction? Why doesn't every random thought become our reality? For years, this was a mystery. But a very recent discovery from University College London has finally identified the brain's internal gatekeepers. Meet the Fusiform Gyrus and the Anterior Insula. The easiest way to think of these two regions is like the bouncers at the velvet rope of your reality. Their entire job is to scan every signal your brain produces and ask one question. Is this a real memory from the outside world, or is it just a fleeting thought from inside? They are the final arbiters between what's just imagination and what becomes your reality. So, how do we get past the bouncers? What's the secret password to get into the club? The answer is one word: emotion.
See, when you combine a clear intention, that's your vision of the future, with a powerful, elevated emotion like gratitude or joy or empowerment, you generate a signal in your brain that is so strong, so coherent, that these gatekeepers can no longer tell the difference. They register the feeling as real, they accept your imagined event as a true memory, and they begin to wire it into your biology as if it has already happened. This science is absolutely incredible, but it's totally useless if we can't apply it. So let's distill all of this down into a simple, powerful protocol that you can start using every single day to become the architect of your own reality. It's really just 3 simple steps. First, define the blueprint. You have to get crystal clear on the future you want to create. What does it look like? What does it sound like? More importantly, what does it feel like? Second, charge the signal. This is the absolute key. Don't just see it in your mind's eye. You have to feel the emotions of that reality right now, in this moment. That feeling is what generates the powerful signal we talked about, the one that gets you past those gatekeepers. And third, repeat to rewire. Do this daily. Every single repetition strengthens that new neural circuit, that's Hebb's law in action, making it your new default state of being. So the science is clear. Your thoughts are not just passive, random things. They are active, architectural commands that are sculpting your brain and your body every single moment. You are holding the blueprint and all the tools. So the only real question left is, what will you build?